Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Transition Awareness Breathing Podcast. This is Eartha, and welcome back to our second episode in using essential oils with mindfulness with our special guest, Jennifer Strickland. Last time, Jennifer provided so much great information about how essential oils works with our sense of smell, our emotions, and a little bit about where they came from. Let's pick up now where Jennifer is going to go in a little bit more detail about essential oils. I invite you to get in a comfortable position and relax. And at the end of this show, there'll be information for you if you would like to contact Jennifer for more information. Let's get started. So Jennifer, did you find out what was the difference between the $5 oil and the $80 oil?
Good question. Now that gets into a lot of science, but especially since we were talking about frankincense, I looked into the process of making frankincense. First of all, frankincense trees are grown like in the Middle East. And they are a very hardy tree. It's usually, like tribal type of land, and you have to have permission to go over there and do that. And then what they do is resin tap it, and then they take that resin and then they have to distill it. And there's this whole long process that you just know that a $5 bottle of oil couldn't have paid for. So that's where you go, okay, so what is the difference between the processes? A $5 bottle of oil, how can you do that for $5? That's creating it completely synthetically in a lab. And how do our bodies deal with synthetic fragrances? Usually not very well. Our bodies are, plants are bioidentical to our bodies. Our bodies recognize it as being something biological. So it's like, okay, I know what to do with this. But anything that is created synthetically in a lab, it goes into our bodies and it's like, what is this? And anything our body doesn't recognize becomes a toxin.
So the body recognizes it as a synthetic or a natural oil?
Yes, yeah. It knows because plants have it's like a signature. It's our body looks at it and goes, okay, these are molecules that I recognize. It's very similar to the molecules in our body. So our body can actually use them as nutrients. It can use them as hormones or anything that is very similar to what our body is. When you create something in a lab, it's not biological anymore. It's molecules put together, but our bodies are just like, this is not, what is this, So it's just not grown, It's created and it's substandard, so our bodies don't know what it is. So when our bodies don't recognize it, then it deals with it as a toxin. Our livers are then under stress, and we have a lot of trouble with that. So that can cause, we're exposed to so many toxins already these days with our chemical personal care products, the things we clean our floors with, which when it comes to children or anybody with any learning or emotional challenges, they can get very agitated by those kind of fragrances because they are not something their body is recognizing, and now your body's having to deal with something else on top of what they're already trying to work on, right?
That's very interesting. How the body is very sophisticated in identifying what is synthetic and what is natural.
So I brought this book with me because this is a really good resource. This is by Dr. Benjamin Purkis.
Okay. The Aroma Freedom Technique, huh?
Yes.
Using essential oils to transform your emotions and realize your heart's desire.
Yeah. So he's a clinical psychologist. And he teaches how to use essential oils with some mindfulness practice to help reset some emotional connections. So this book is really good. I highly recommend it. You can actually go to his website and you can download some free information. He has a guide to walk you through this little aroma reset technique booklet.
Okay.
this is exactly how to use like these 3 oils.
So what are the 3 oils? I know I smelled the stress away.
You smell the stress away. So this is frankincense. Frankincense.
Can I smell that one?
Smell, yes. Yeah. So this is frankincense. Frankincense is a very woodsy, earthy oil. And again, this has been around for centuries, right? It's even been like in the Bible. There's lots of references to frankincense and different essential oils throughout, and instructions on how they're used, even in like cleansing the temple and stuff, right? So this one, if you've ever smelled fake frankincense, now you'll know how it really smells. And it's very easy to compare it to the fake and go, that's not what I thought it was supposed to be.
That's interesting.
Yes.
It smells like something I never smelled before. It's pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So it comes from a tree, eh?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So that really earthy smell, right?
Yeah, it almost has like a sweetness to it.
Yeah. Yeah, frankincense is unique. It's the reason that it was more valuable than gold is because like in ancient Egyptian medical texts where we actually have documentation in on papyrus and stuff, they said that it heals everything from gout to a broken head, and that's what they claimed for frankincense. It's really good for anything on the skin that's going on. It's great for anything going on in the brain, just like being down, occasional blues and things like that. Frankincense is super good for that. Wow. They used to anoint kings with frankincense oil, just like dump up, we wouldn't do it these days, but they'd have a whole vat they'd dump on their heads.
Wow.
And when they would talk about anointing, it wasn't like anointing the kings. They'd dump this whole thing on their heads and like going down their beards, they'd like rub it all in, and that was true ancient anointing of the kings. But frankincense is really good for lifting the spirits. Yeah, and helping to break through some of those emotional, sadness and things like that. And now lavender, most people know what lavender's for. What do you think?
We went up to the hill country, and it was lavender time.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it was lavender time. This is a big mistake.
Uh-oh.
I'll share with you guys. So we went up, we drove up to the lavender fields, and I wanted to bring some home. So I put it in the car.
Okay.
I was so sleepy. Oh, I thought it was all in my head, The lavender, the fresh lavender, it smelled very, very good, but I tell you, I could not hardly make it home.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I bet you can smell it from here. It's sitting on the table. Right? Yes. So lavender is very calming. A lot of people will use it in a diffuser on their bedside before bed. It's also very good for the skin, so I keep it by my stove in case I get clumsy with the pots and pans and get a burn. So I put it on immediately.
Really?
Oh, yes. So I've been doing that for years, but I've gotten better with the burns. Yeah. But yes, very, very calming oil. So most people know that it's relaxing. Now, remember we were talking about the quality. My sister she said, oh no, I'm allergic to lavender. I said, well, how do you know? And she said, I bought this can of spray lavender, brought it home, sprayed my whole home, and it made me so sick. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I said, what do you think about just trying one sniff of this and see how you do? Well, I sent it to her, and she called me a week later, and she was like, I've used almost the whole bottle now. I said, how did you do that? She said, I love it. I'm not allergic to it. So like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Synthetic versus real.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of synthetic lavender out there.
Wow.
So when you are using essential oils, they're super concentrated. And so if you have anything in them that you don't want to, like pesticides, and like these are concentrated. So if you have pesticides on the plants, you distill them and you concentrate them. Now you have concentrated pesticides.
Oh my goodness.
You don't want any of that. So super important. And this is the Young Living brand. That's why I chose Young Living, because I wanted to make sure my kids and my pets were not exposed to something that was going to cause problems.
It's like organic.
Yes, they don't have an organic label, but that's because it's not they don't want to be regulated by the organic standards, which are not quite good enough for Young Living. They go way beyond organic. I've been out on the farms, the distilleries all over the world.
Wow.
It's amazing to see. So they've been doing this for a long time. They know what they're doing. But so these are really great emotional oils, and this aroma reset. You can go onto his website, the Aroma Freedom Technique website. Just Google it, and he'll walk you through every step. If we have time here, I could go through it with you.
Well, Jennifer, thank you so much. Your information is just rich. So how about we stop here and invite all our viewers and listeners to come back for the final series of using essential oils with mindfulness. And then we'll look forward to you guiding us through the aroma reset process. Thank you so much. And we'll see everyone in our next podcast. Have a great day.